Hey there, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to discuss a checklist, a Service Academy interview checklist. That's right, when you go for your interview with your congressmen and senators, I put together a little checklist of things to make sure that you have and you're prepared for. So let's get into it. Number one, are all your required submittals done to your congressmen and senators? Make sure you check the portal, make sure all the letters of recommendation in, make sure your latest SAT scores are in the portal, make sure that everything is filled out. The last thing that you want is to go to the interview and have something missing, and then the discussion is all about that. If you have an SAT score that came in recently and you didn't have time to enter it, or just came in like a week before the interview, bring the official SAT sheet with you and bring a copy with you. Most likely they will take the copy, they will update it, and it will be a positive discussion point if you do well for your interview. Number two, make a one-page resume. That's right, make a resume. If you have an in-person interview, make a one-page resume. And the reason is, the interviewers have probably a pretty thick file, maybe that thick on you, of a printout of all the things that you submitted, all the letters of recommendation, all your grades, your transcripts, all that stuff. However, if you make a one-page resume and you lay out all that stuff in a very simple form, it'll make the discussion go much easier, it'll help them find things much easier, and also will guide the discussion. So have that one-page resume. Do not embellish it, because they do have the file there. They can look and compare. So be straightforward and have that resume, because it's really helpful to the interviewers. And I have to tell you, as an interviewer, when somebody hands me a resume, I know that they're prepared. So have that one-page resume. Next, of all the things that I'm going to tell you in this video, this is going to be the most important. So pay attention. The first question that most of the interviewers will ask you is, tell me about yourself. Johnny, Janie, Jimmy, whatever your name is, tell us about yourself. The reason for this question is basically so that they can get settled in. They can get settled into going through your folder, because they've probably been doing interviews all day. And number two is they want you to relax. So this is actually a really good chance for you to set the whole tone of the interview. If you can put together a 1-minute elevator pitch about yourself. Hey, my name is John Doe. I go to XYZ High School. I'm captain of the lacrosse team. I'm also a science major in physics, and I want to go to the United States Air Force Academy and be in the Space Force, because I want to help cybersecurity for our country, and I think that space is the next frontier. If you lay out a very simple 1-minute elevator pitch that covers where you went to school, your name, where you went to school, what academy you want to go to, what you want to study at the academy, and what you want to study after what you want to do after the academy, it sets the whole tone for the interview. Number one, you answered most of their questions. You answered the high school question. You answered what you majored in high school, what your classes that you really like, physics or whatever, and what academy you want to go to, what you want to study at the academy, and what you want to do after the academy. You answered 5 questions in the interview, and you also set a positive tone that you know what you want to do and where you want to go. So this elevator pitch is very, very important. I would say number 1 is the elevator pitch, number 2 is the resume. Very important things. Okay, the next few items, I'm sure you're going to laugh at and you go, oh, this guy, he's too much. He's like, he's an old cranky guy, but he's too much. So get it out, you can laugh, but it happens, and I've seen it a lot. Okay, number 1, do you know where the interview is? Do you know what building it is? If it's not online, it's got to be somewhere. What building it is, where to park, how to get there. Is there a parking garage? Is there a parking lot? Just how to get there. You'd be surprised at how many people end up going to a city and have no idea that the parking garage that's the best garage is probably 3 blocks away and takes a 15-minute walk to get. So be prepared to know where it is, how much time it is going to get there from where you're going to park to the interview, and also if it's so far away and you don't know the area, what's the traffic conditions going to be? You know, is it 10 miles away, but it's going to take me an hour to get there? You can laugh. These are probably stupid, ridiculous things, but I can tell you we've had a lot of people who, over the years, show up late, don't know where to park, and they get lost. So just be prepared for that. The next one you're going to laugh at also, but do you know what you're going to wear? You know, usually you should wear a jacket tie, a suit or tie. You should look presentable. Young ladies should wear, conservative clothing, quasi-business attire. Do you know what you're going to wear? So yes, you know that you're going to wear a suit or a blouse and a nice pair of slacks if you're a young lady. Did you check them? Did you make sure that the suit doesn't have a stain or a little tear? That your dress shirt, the collar fits, it's not torn somewhere? Make sure that you lay out all your clothes and you check all your clothes to make sure that everything is all squared away and ready to go. The last thing you want on the morning of an interview is to have a shirt that the button doesn't close or there's a stain on it or something that throws your whole morning into a tizzy, because not only will it waste your time, but it will distract from your main objective that day, is to have a good interview. The next one, hopefully this isn't a problem, but if you have a video interview, do you know your connectivity? Now, I would assume that 99% of you out there have gone to Zoom school over the pandemic, so your connectivity is probably pretty good. But are you set up to have a long interview, maybe a half an hour or so, without other people going into your space, or maybe your bandwidth being degraded because your brother or sister is streaming YouTube or Netflix? Make sure your connectivity is good. Make sure you know where you're going to have your interview. You want to have it in a nice, quiet, private place where you can close the door and you can honestly answer the questions and not be distracted by your mother, your father, your sister, your grandmother, whoever. So just think about where you're going to have that video interview if you're going to have a video interview. And my last point is, are you clearly able to articulate on why you should receive a nomination to your chosen service academy? Most people say, okay, why do you want to go to the United States Naval Academy? And we get the answer, oh, my grandfather was in the Navy. He was in the Navy during World War II. And I thought it'd be really a neat thing to do is to go into the Navy. He was on battleships. That's great. Thank you for your service. Thank you, grandfather, for his service. We appreciate it, because we're free today because of what he did. But that's not a clear articulation on why you should be nominated to a service academy. A good answer would be, I think that I'm the best candidate. I've done well in high school. I've done well in sports. I know what I want to do, and I want to serve my country. Lay out a very clear path on why you're the guy or the gal that should go to that service academy. It is all about you. This is the time to blow your horn and to talk about why you should win the prize. So don't be afraid to do that, but be prepared for that question. And lastly, be calm during the interview. Be patient with the interviewers. A lot of them might repeat the questions. You might get the same question 3 different times from 3 different people. One, they might not be listening to the other person. They might have a set questions that they want to ask. Or 2, there might be a reason why they're asking the same question 3 different ways. That's maybe because you might give 3 different answers. And that's concerning. So be calm, be relaxed, and remember, this is your chance to do something great. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you get something out of these videos. Good luck to you. Bye now.